No, the keys! The keys! I need the keys! Man, I don't know what the hell was chasing me, but after a good workout, I'm gonna need me a claw. Woo! Man, that was refreshing, because you know what they say. There ain't no laws when you're drinking. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. No. Not today, asshole. I think he's gone. Wait, Michael? Michael? Damn you, Michael!
Michael! Michael! Trick or treat. God damn you, Michael.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We're for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Brett Man's right over there, and the time has finally come. We are here. July 25th has made it. It is time to start. Birdie LaGurdy. It's time to start the HalloScream Review Series here, man. We're kicking it off today, but we're ending it with Halloween Ends in October, dude. We're gonna have a review each and every freaking Monday from here until then. Halloween 1 through Halloween freaking ends with all the other freaking timelines in between, and I'm stoked about it. Here it is. Here's the card, HalloScream Review Series, man. With all these lovely peeps, man. It's the first time. This is the first time. I'll tell you all the peeps. We got Jeff Mann. We got Bacon Pew Pew. We got freaking Camp Blood Media again. He joined us with the Friday the 13th last year. It was awesome. Dark Ether Files podcast, Mega Movie Z, Braden Timmons, and of course Fauci Cinema is going to be joining us on the reviews. And then also freaking Chris Snyder himself is going to be doing some Letterboxd reviews running next to us with these as well, and we're excited about that. He's been doing those a lot recently, and they've been really solid. And that I'm stoked about it, man. What a crew. What a freaking crew. This is the biggest event of all of YouTube.
Yeah, like even thought freaking Friday the 13th was big last year. What about this year, man? Like you can tell from even our skits, we plan on going bigger and better than we did with the Friday the 13th series last year. Because again, I know this is Brad's baby of a franchise. He loves the Halloween franchise. So we're going to make this the best show possible, man.
Oh, I'm stoked about it, man. We got a lot of excitement. We got us a new rating system. We got freaking kind of a new format tonight for the reviews going forward with all, going forward throughout the HalloScream series. And I'm jacked about it, man. I'm really pumped. So, we got that review system. I'm sorry, that rating system for you down in the description below if you want to keep track of that as we get through these bad boys.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, Brad, I'd say without further ado, let's get into these these cards that we generated. That is just movie facts and the Michael Myers card. So let's freaking get down to business so we can defeat the shape. Nah, I'm just messing. But anyways, let me get my deep breath here. Halloween was released on October 27th of 1978 with an IMDb score of 7.7 out of 10, which is extremely high for a horror movie. Letterboxd score of 3.9 out of 5, for most of the votes came in at 4 out of 5. Tomato meter from the critics, 96%, the audience, 89%, and the budget at their time was $325K. And that is really astounding because, especially with the box office numbers, with the domestic 47 million and global 47 million, because again, this movie wasn't released outside the United States. And it's directed by the man, the legend of the horror genre of John Carpenter, with the great cast of Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, dude, great all around. Great numbers for such a simple horror movie to have a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes is awesome. And the reason being is really because this paved the way for a lot of things that came after it. Comparing to today's flicks, it's very mild, it's very tame, but it's so simple and eerie and just weird that it works. And for that reason, dude, I completely understand why this happened. And I'm glad it did. The 96 is awesome.
Oh, absolutely, because Psycho kind of created a little bit of the slasher genre, and then freaking Halloween is the one that really just creaked open the door, man. So we appreciate Halloween, we love Halloween on this channel. We're going to get right into it, but we also got to get into our boy Michael Myers with the Michael Myers card here. Brad, do you want to take advantage of this, or do you want me?
I can do the Mikeys, man. We got Nick Castle coming in. He's the one that, is pretty synonymous with his first flick. Tony Moran comes in as the unmasked Michael Myers. And Tommy Lee Wallace has a couple of scenes as well, including the closet scene here, pictured to the right. He's one of the people behind the project as well, kind of picked out the mask and everything. Will Sandin is also the young version of Michael here as well. And then, of course, in this movie, low kill count at 5, but it's all freaking worth it. And the weapons uses the butcher knife, a hand, and a telephone freaking cord. Hey, Deborah did shoot some scenes as the full fleshed out Michael as well. But I don't know if they made it into the movie or not, to be honest. There's been some controversy as of late. So, but she did shoot him.
Yeah, well, but we got to go with what we do know, like the facts. So that's what we're going to show you. So that is the Michael Myers card. So, Brad, describe to our viewers right now how we're going to do this HalloScream this year.
Just simplistic, man. We're going to take these movies. We're going to kind of run through them somewhat chronologically. We might, get off track here and there, and we're just kind of talk about what we like and dislike as we go along, instead of kind of jumping all over the place. And just kind of keep it a little bit more casual and laid back, and just have a good time with it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just freaking begin with the opening title card, man. Because to me, it's one of the best title card and intros of all time, with the music, the classic John Carpenter theme, da 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 da, and seeing just a simple pumpkin, man. How that score builds and builds. Great, amazing start to a movie.
Oh yeah, it really kind of you hit that epic score from the get go, and that it's became freaking iconic, and you get it right at the beginning of the flick, and then it busts into the infamous POV shot, the one take per se. There's a few cuts in there, but that again, really kind of groundbreaking stuff for the time. This long opening shot of the POV of young, which we find out at the end is young Michael Myers, but at the time when you first see this movie, you don't know who it is. It just kind of starts off and it's a POV of somebody, and they're creeping around the house, and they go in through the back end, the ass end, if you will, of the house. They go in there.
The ass end.
They go in there and they get, they reach in, they get a knife. It's really creepily done, man. And the sound, really just kind of getting dug into this atmosphere from the beginning. There's owls freaking chirping or whatever, hooing. They're not chirping, they're hooing outside, and it's just creepy, man.
Wait,
you see somebody just kind of creeping around. Owls. Woo, woo,
who,
woo,
who, who, who. No, I'm just messing.
Yes, who,
Again, I love the whole camera over, like the mask over the camera effect at the beginning. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And also, I just love this too. When people wear a mask in movies, we get to hear their breathing. And Michael Myers is the king of it. Like, it's the best. It's the most unsettling, creepy. It's just, if I ever seen somebody with a mask on and I hear them breathing, like, I'm in trouble, man.
Right, you are, Ted. But yeah, I mean, hey, he creeps up. We're getting this POV. He creeps up the stairs. He gets the mask. He gets the knife and all that. It's creepy because the lights are out and everything. Very atmospheric. He creeps up there, murks his sister, which again, we don't know who it is yet, but he just murks Judith Myers up in her bedroom, naked. And then he walks out, and then we get that cool little shot where we find out that it's a 6-year-old boy that did this, and you get that cool little pullback crane shot, with Michael, and he takes the thing off, and this little boy. That was cool. And again, the realization at that time, seeing this in 1978 would have been fantastic. I mean, you're saying, we've seen Black Christmas and Billy and Crazy Ass Billy and Leatherface running around. We haven't seen those 6-year-olds murking people at this point. So that would have been really neat.
Dude, absolutely not. And can we just address real quickly, like, that had to be the quickest, like, sex act in the history of cinema with freaking Judith Myers' boyfriend?
Dude, I know, man. That's what I'm saying.
He did not go a quarter mile. A quarter mile. But man,
Yeah.
I just want to address that real quick. But you're absolutely right. A 6-year-old child, which again, we'll get into that speech later on in this discussion review. But yeah, man, just a 6-year-old child is completely out of the box. Definitely fits the 70s style of horror filmmaking at the time, where the 70s weren't, like, they didn't care. Like, they wanted to break limits. They want to, like, break barriers, man. That's what they freaking want to do. That's why I love 70s horror movies, and Halloween just took it that extra step of including a child being an ultimate killer, especially when John Carpenter came up with this idea, or just came up with Halloween, man, just because all he really did was he saw somebody just look pure evil in a asylum, and he's like, "Yep, I'm making a movie based off that."
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's really cool way to get started. And then of course from there we jump ahead 15 years. And you're like, wow, man, how does this even connect, man? I'm telling you, like, was this random ass Merc kid in the beginning, and now it's 15? Well, here's what happens. Dr. Loomis and the nurse comes in, Nurse Marion. They come in, they're driving in, it's raining. Again, more atmosphere being drenched on us here. They're raining in the car, there's lightning outside. They pull up to the Smith's Grove, which is where Michael's currently at, and they're ready to pick his ass up. Actually, were they going to transport him, or were they going to I know he was going to go to court.
Well, I think they were going to transport him because, like,
Yeah. again,
you got to remember
Yeah.
what then Dr. Loomis says later on in the movie that he spent, I believe he said 7 years keeping them locked up. And I think by that means it's like they were going to transfer him into like a higher, more secure place.
Well,
So the evil could never escape.
Yeah, he had to go to court. He had to go before a judge as well. For a hearing, and so he's like, that Thorazine, he won't be able to stand. That's the point. Anyways, so they're going in, they pull into Smith's Grove. It's super atmospheric again, dude. It's just creepy because the lighting in this thing's beautiful, right? It's just all really dark, but you can kind of see some people. They pull up to the gates, and there's like freaking these people like running around all over the place that are supposed to be inside the mofo, but they're all out. They're all running around. It's freaking raining. It's like that scene in 2018 where they pull up in the bus, and there's all the people running around that are supposed to be transported. Really creepy stuff. And I like the way that it's shot because you can't really see what's going on. And it's just, you don't know what happened. There's a lot of mystery going on as far as why these people are out here. And we don't answer those questions. I mean, we know that Michael got out, but we don't know the details of it. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, especially where freaking Michael just jumps on a car and just creates all kinds of hell and torture on Marion Chambers, like driving the car and him using the wrench. And yes, I know it's supposed to be his bare hand, but we all saw once it came out on Blu-ray in the 4K, it's obviously a wrench. So to break that windshield, break the car glass door in order to get into the car and to drive away, man. But yeah, all of that was absolutely great. And then Dr. Loomis all freaking out. I was like, oh shit, the freaking Smith's Grove security has failed us once again.
It's gone. It's gone. The evil is gone from here, he said while the car's driving off. That was awesome. And then we kind of busted the next day. And from there, the rest of the movie takes place in one day, which is awesome. It's super simple.
Halloween, 1978.
Hell freaking yeah. So it starts off, we meet Lori, right? She's getting just kind of she has this whole thing where she's talking to her dad. She's got to go drop the keys off at the Myers house because her dad's a realtor, right? And she's got to go drop the key off. So we get nice tracking shots of her. The keys. We get some really nice tracking shots. Again, coming back to that cinematography here, which is fantastic. Really nice tracking shots of her walking down the street, soaking in that atmosphere, even though it's in the middle of summer where they shot this in California. Yeah, it genuinely, minus the palm trees, it genuinely does feel like a fall day in Illinois. You could buy it. And
with some fake ass leaves.
Definitely fake ass leaves. Not many of them to spare either, but they made it work. And and it looks good, man. I always really soak that in.
Oh, dude, I absolutely agree with you on that. Definitely gets you in the Halloween spirit when you see Jamie Lee Curtis, who played Laurie Strode, which is Jamie Lee's first ever performance as an actress in a movie is freaking Halloween. That pretty much just changed her entire life in her career of acting. But yeah, with Laurie, we get this sweet, innocent girl, which at the time we don't know she's a final girl yet because again, like the whole final girl cliche is kind of new at this point. Something that's kind of generated in Black Christmas. But
Texas
yes.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw as well. Sorry, I kind of failed to acknowledge Sally because all she does is scream. But so I'm interested already just to see, okay, where are they going to take us with this sweet innocent girl with this crazy mad person that just got out? Kind of like you said, how's all this going to intertwine with each other?
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it is we don't know yet. We don't know anything because it's everything's kind of been happening so fast at this point. We really don't know what's going on. We just know Laurie's our protagonist now. Some crazy shit's going on at the at the loony bin, and so I really like that aspect. And really, this kind of starts the process because we go back to Smith's Grove where Loomis is like, we know where he's going. He doesn't know how to drive. Well, he's doing very well last night and all that stuff. And all that was going on. And this really starts the daytime, aspect of things here, which is really cool. A lot of this movie takes place at day, like the tension that they dangle this carrot of suspense from this point on until the end, until it turns nighttime and shit hit the fan later. At this point, we know Loomis is our conduit of what Michael's capable of. We know because of Loomis and the way he's acting, we know what Michael's capable of. We saw him kill his sister when he was young. Loomis knows that he's been treating him for years. He knows that if he reaches Haddonfield, bad shit's going to happen. On the other side of that coin, we have Laurie Strode, who we've just met. She knows nothing. She's just kind of thrown into this. She's just in this, this freaking, she's just doing her thing, living her life. It's Halloween. Woohoo. Trick or treating time. And she's having a good time. And she's having fun. But she doesn't know that Michael's out there and stalking her ass. So we know what he's capable of. We know, especially on rewatches, that, shit's going to hit the fan tonight and she's just out there living life. And I think that's creepy and it's tension. It's full of tension, man.
Oh, yeah, and the particular thing I want to address real quick is when Laurie and Tommy go up to the Myers house where she drops off the key, and then we get that quick shot of Michael behind the door and all that, and that great score that follows it, too. And then when Laurie is going down the street singing her own song, just because they can't copyright any songs or anything, so they just had her make up a tune, and she just freaking was just singing her own little tune, which I thought that was an interesting fact. And then we see that freaking, Michael... Had you all alone. And then that's when Michael freaking stops, and we got that perfect camera shot where we just see the overalls, but we don't know anything else. And then we hear the breathing of the mask, dude, just intensify with each breath. And I thought that was just excellent filmmaking by John Carpenter.
Oh yeah, that's a spooky scene, man, because you get those breaths, man. It's so good. And again, we don't know why. We don't know what his fascination is. Or anything. We don't know why he's standing here staring at her. It's just she just happened to show up, drop the key off, and now we're ready to rock. And again, we spend some time here kind of cutting back between those kinds of scenes. We meet Tommy, we meet Annie and Linda and all that at school, new characters, and all that stuff's great. Totally kicking some ass. All that stuff's good. On the whole side, the opposite side, as the day goes on, Loomis is kind of on doing his own thing. He's trying to get to Haddonfield to stop bad shit from happening. And that gives us this kind of sense of urgency throughout the movie. This he's got to make it there before shit happens. I know I was just kind of talking about that, but it's like it moves the plot along we know now that there is a time limit to this destruction that's coming. That Michael is a ticking time bomb essentially, and we really got to get Loomis there to counteract that. And I really like that. What's going to happen first, though? Is he going to make it, or is he going to start murking people? That's the question.
Oh yeah, man, dude. And that's what's just so awesome because we're just along for the crazy ride and we don't know how crazy the ride we're going on, but we just know it's a crazy one. And then we get to the scene where Lori and again, like you said, meets Annie and Linda. We get their introductions to their characters. Kind of like selling the fact that they're good, like they're just teenage, like just high school girls, man, of just living life to the fullest and all that. And they're just walking straight, minding their own business. And freaking Michael, just with his great driving skills, just drives past them, going, he was going like 20 miles an hour in a 15. And then Andy had to be a jerk, going like, "Hey, jerk, speak hills." I'm like,
Or that is a sheriff, so
yeah. Well, I know, but dude, we're talking about 20 miles over in a 15. Like again, like when I freaking did the Halloween skit for Pennywise, I was driving a lot faster than 20.
Yeah, dude, you definitely freaking skidded those brakes out there for sure. That was good.
But that wasn't the scariest part, man. What's scariest part was what came after that is when Lori and Annie were walking, and we saw Michael peeking behind a bush. And then he goes behind the bush and he checks on it and he's gone. Again, just pretty much just sells his nickname of the Shape, which that's another fact of the movie too. He is not Michael Myers in this movie in the credits. He is just the Shape.
And that's very much what he is, man. And that's spooky, man, because again, and it's even better on rewatch. This is one of those things that's like, because you know how it all ends, it's like there's like a sense of dread going out throughout the day. Like we're seeing him kind of looming around, and it's like, damn, man, this dude's about to fuck people up. And right now he's just standing behind this bush. It's like, oh, so I really like that. And then later when she goes, Lori goes upstairs in her house and sees him outside in the laundry. Or she thinks she does. We don't know if she actually does or not. She could just be, her mind's playing tricks on her at this point because she's just fucking creeped out. And he just kind of vanishes seemingly into thin air. That's effective stuff, man. Really cool. And man, it's creepy. And then again, obviously at the school too, when she's out there and looks out, all those scenes were great. And it's just, oh man, it gives you goosebumps almost.
Oh yeah, and did you like the little nod when Laurie's room? You see the Raggedy Ann doll in there. Freaking Annabelle made a cameo in that movie.
Yeah, she did, and comes back in Resurrection, but we'll get to that later.
Oh god, I don't want to get back to that later, but we're going to have to do it eventually. I think the next thing after that, or like as all this was going on in the daytime, is when Tommy's getting bullied. Like he's gonna get you, the boogeyman's coming. And all that, and then freaking Michael just freaking stalking freaking little Tommy, man, and that's freaking scary because how realistic that particular scene is. It's just that, like, all that shot, like between Michael and Tommy, was excellently done.
It was, man. It was a fantastic tracking shot where he's walking down the fence line and the Halloween theme's playing, and he bumps into. Actually, well, I guess that's after. But that was really good. But that freaking car, every time he gets in that thing and starts driving, I'm like, first off, he is doing pretty well still, even though it's not last night, he's still doing good. B, that car's got to stick out like a sore damn thumb. But I guess they didn't really know what to look for yet because Loomis wasn't there yet. But again, all this stuff is good. Just more creepiness, man. Just more creeps.
Yeah, definitely more creeps. And then that's when we get to like getting close towards the evening side of things, and when Annie picks up Lori so they can go, babysit shit up, man. And then smoking a little pot, and then while smoking a little pot, they're freaking rocking to "Don't Fear the Reaper," man, which that song freaking amplifies any horror movie right off the bat. And then they go to the store. And then they see Sheriff Brackett there trying to figure out what the hell was being stolen in that store. And it was some mask, a knife, a rope. I'm not sure what Michael Myers is going to do with a rope possibility, but I know what he was going to do with those masks and knives.
Halloween mask, rope. Yeah. I think he was just trying to set up the stage for a good Clue game later in the evening. Like he just wanted to get all the weapons out. Couple different masks to get different characters, and I think that's really what he was going for. But yeah, that was cool. Again, that's the best. One of the best parts about this movie is the subtlety of everything. It's like, we don't see him bust into the store and steal everything. We just roll up after the fact, and it's like, okay, I've been seeing this guy behind bushes, and now somebody broke into the store and stole some knives and masks. Like, what's this shit's getting weird. Like, it's a really weird fucking Halloween. and all that stuff just kind of builds up cumulatively. Sidebar, Loomis's storyline up to this point, he's driving to Haddonfield. He comes up to the railroad tracks. Dude's dead in the bushes. He doesn't see the dude, but he does see the
Freddie, man, from the freaking Queen, baby.
Freddie Mercury. Hell yeah. So yeah, he pulls up. He sees the dude, or he sees the car that was in his car that was stolen the night before by Michael, and he sees his old gown. He's like, "Oh fuck, he's here. He's coming. The evil's on his way." All that stuff's good. And then he goes up and he goes to the cemetery and he finds out the headstone's missing again. Just kind of he's investigating this shit. He's trying to go where he's going to go, but he's one step behind him always. And meanwhile, like, he's already actively like just about to fuck shit up. Michael is.
Oh, dude. Let's just freaking get into the main event, man. We discussed what happened during the day, a little bit what happened in the evening. Let's freaking get to the nighttime, baby. Halloween night, man. Where freaking Laurie is babysitting Tommy Doyle while Annie Brackett is babysitting Lindsay Wallace, played by Kyle Richards. So, man. I've just said, oh yeah, if Michael just like hiding in those like in the shadows. Again, that's what the best trait of any Halloween movie is when Michael gets played in the shadows versus in the day and like in the daylight or just where light is generated on him in the night. It's never a good thing for me. But this movie established that darkness in the shadows with Michael Myers is going to be the recipe for success.
Yeah, dude, that's another part of this movie that is so awesome is the way that we have that tension and build up throughout the day. I've come to, especially as a kid, like I was afraid of this movie turning to nighttime because all the shit that hits the fan, like it's got so much atmosphere into it, and we know what comes. But it's like the lighting is a big part of it because it's so low budget and whatnot. It's not overlit. It feels real. Like it feels like people are out there actually shooting this on their camera, like on their. I mean, I would say phones, but they didn't have. But you know what I mean? Like it feels legit. It's just like it's very dark. Every time Michael's behind, a bush or back in the background, and Annie, like he's not sitting back there. Yeah, a tree. Like he's not like all super illuminated. You can't even make him like you don't even know what he looks like. You just kind of see a silhouette, a shape, if you will. No pun intended. Where they got that name? Anyway, so he's just back there and he's creeping, man. And then we get a lot of great freaking shots of him doing just that. When Annie's on the phone, she spills butter all over her shit and gets all like, "Oh no, not the butter." He's back there, the laundry scene, which is a little bit later, but whatever. All that stuff is really good whenever he's just back there creeping, and it's subtle, and that's what's great about it.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. All that was great. And then while this time Laurie is babysitting Tommy Doyle keeps bugging her about is the boogeyman real? And she goes like, no, but boogeyman's not real. But it's like, don't worry, I'm here tonight. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Like just establishing just a good girl tone that the Laurie character is, which I think is absolutely excellent at that point. Again, I feel like that singer is like Annie, everything that's wrong. Laurie, everything that's right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what. Yeah. Exactly. And I like their friendship. They have some good stuff going on. Annie's kind of more fun and crazy, and then Laurie's just like you said. So yeah, all that stuff's good, and really, it's just kind of fun to see them all interacting, throughout the night.
And then I forgot to mention this, like before we talked about the night stuff, real quickly, going back to the day. With talking about the store getting broken in, that's when Dr. Loomis meets Sheriff Brackett. And I love the shot where Loomis is talking to Sheriff Brackett. And right behind Loomis is freaking Michael Myers just casually driving right behind him. Like, I always kind of laugh. It's not supposed to be funny, but I always seem to laugh every time. I'm like, come on, Loomis. But yeah,
that's funny.
But the reason I mentioned that is because right as we are knowing what Laurie and Andy are doing, we get to the freaking Meyer house where Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett are checking the house. They found the dead dog. Dr. Loomis like, he got hungry. Checking around the house, and then we get into probably one of the greatest speeches in horror movie and cinematic history describing the shape.
Oh yeah, it was great monologue, kind of a one take thing, just looking at Loomis, and the score that plays with it is fantastic. And again, this is setting up what Michael is capable of. This is setting up that evil is out there. Evil Michael. It's just setting all that up, and just like, and meanwhile, we're seeing what he's doing, and that combination is freaking beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've met this 6-year-old child with this pale, blank, emotionless face with the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Like, dude, it gives me chills every time about that speech. And literally, that speech created an icon that is Michael Myers in the horror genre.
That's what makes that tension, man. That's what makes it, for
Yeah, and
sure.
plus, I also like it those kind of scenes too. That you're building up somebody, and then the payoff works later. We've seen, like, to me, another great example of that kind of like storytelling for a character. I always give a shout out to the Silence of the Lambs when that asylum doctor tells you exactly what we need to know about Hannibal Lecter, and then they build upon that, and then at the end we get exactly what Hannibal Lecter's about. Exactly the same thing with Michael Myers when Loomis gave us that speech, and then when the killings start happening, or like you said a while back, Merc the Merker. But yeah, when shit gets crazy and shit gets going, we get to see what Dr. Loomis is talking about in his speech, and that's why it works to perfection.
It does, man. It's really just a essential part of the movie. It's paramount, really. It's really what gets this thing into motion. Going back just a sidebar, after Loomis misses Michael driving behind him at the store, I like the scene too where Annie and Laurie are driving and Michael's behind them in his car
Yes.
as well. That's another good one. Again, all this stuff is just kind of it'd be easy to miss these things on your first watch if you weren't paying attention. So I really appreciate all that. But okay, nighttime is here. We got the speech from Loomis. We're getting shit out there. Yeah, him and Brackett are out there looking for Michael. Brackett's a little hesitant to really dive
And he's
into it.
spilling butter all over her panties. And then we got Laurie being the ultimate good girl, just daydreaming about freaking Ben Tramer. And then freaking Annie's like, I want to hook up with Paul. Or, oh, hi, Paul. And all that. And then she
Paul.
freaking takes Lindsay over to the Doyle house so that Laurie can babysit Lindsay and Tommy at the same time while Annie decides to woo Paul. Even though she doesn't get that very far in the car, man, until she forgets to do the number one rule of one of the rules of Zombieland. You always check the back seat.
Yes, and buckle up, but she didn't get a chance to get that. And again, subtlety rocks here because she goes to the car first. It's locked. Oh shit, what's going on? She has to go back. Oh, no keys. Oh, Paul, I gotta give you my all. And she goes back, gets the keys, comes back. The door is unlocked this time around. That's weird. I don't know why. Because Michael's back there. He's fucking around. He got in. Maybe he was like, I don't know. And the windows are fogged up too. And that's just a creepy thing. Again, that's so easy to miss. Like it doesn't really spell it out for you, but it's weird.
And I never thought about that before with the foggy windows and all that. I'm like, it's not like I wouldn't think it'd be that cold, but like maybe in Chicago and Haddonfield and in freaking fall, it very well could be.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's chilly. I mean, we've had chilly Halloweens before down here. It's been a while, but we've done it.
I miss those days.
Oh yeah, same. But yeah, so she goes in there. It's cold. She goes as soon as she figures out like something's weird. He pops up from the back seat. First kill that we see on screen, right? So, except for the first one at the beginning, the POV. And it's good. It's not by today's standards, it's a weak kill, but it's cool because we still don't see Michael's face. Like we still don't know exactly what he looks like, even in this because it's going through the fog and he's in the back seat. Like you can kind of just see he's there and he's doing his thing, but it's not a clear look yet. We're still waiting on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forgot to include this, like since we're kind of like talking about kills real quick. I love how this movie does not have to rely on blood as much because they kind of like Dave McCrae always says, theater of the mind. Just like you thinking about it, like how brutal and like how much blood there really could be if we actually get to see it. But I did like the use of no blood at all in this movie for the most part.
And Nancy Loomis's acting skills really sold it here, which is
oh my gosh, a little bit of overacting in my book, but you know what? I can forgive it.
She looked like freaking your boy from Saw when he gets that fake cigarette and he's trying to act like he's dead over there before he gets zapped by Dr. Gordon. Yeah, that one. But it was good. It was a good kill, though. It was effective. It was nice. And again, yeah, you're right. There's no blood in this thing. There's not that many kills because the tension is where the success comes from. The kills are the payoff of that. That's all it is. So yeah, and then we move on from there.
Yeah, absolutely. We freaking move on to freaking Linda and Bob, man. Drinking beers, driving fans, and even Bob's mentioning ripping off Lindsay's clothes, which I will get to that towards the end of the video. Yeah, that didn't age very well, but pretty much it is. These are your partiers. You thought Annie was a partier? Totally Linda and Bob were partiers, man. And they freaking had no regard of safety into that Wallace home where they freaking did in the master bedroom, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Just like no, who cares, dude? It's not our house. Let's just go up there
They'll
and
make,
freaking
they'll
make
make
use
the
of the
bed.
best bed. Yeah, they'll make it. I don't think they're gonna wash those sheets though. But now they're like now they're not gonna wash sheets, and they're about to get murked in there, and like it's just gonna be a real big mess when the parents come home. So
Yeah, so like they're not gonna find what they're not gonna like what they find in there. But pretty much after they freaking get it on in the master bedroom, Michael's just being a creep. Linda's like, "Go get me a beer." If we get the famous horror cliche, "I'll be right back," when Bob says that, he goes back, or goes get a beer, and then he hears his breathing, and then that's when Michael pops out of one of the freaking whatever compartment he was in the kitchen, and then does one of the most famous kills in the entire franchise. It's just a freaking knife to the chest after raising him with one hand. That kind of shows you how strong Michael Myers is. Like, he has to be so damn strong. Sticks the knife, and we get the famous head tilt
hell
of
yeah.
like, what the hell did I just do? But it looks absolutely beautiful look, and Michael Myers' whole expression. Again, pale blank emotion on his face, man. It's scary, man. It's just like I think he knows what he did, but I don't think at the same time he knows what he did.
Right. And he's still, and what's awesome about this again is still, yes, you're right. That's awesome as well. It's the lighting, man. This whole scene is dark as fuck, but you can still see a shape attacking another shape, stabbing another shape onto the thing. That's what's cool about it. We still 2 kills in, on-screen kills of adult Michael, and we have not seen what he looks like yet. Like, we still don't have a clear look at this mofo. We see he's got a mask on, a white mask. We don't know. It's not clear. It's about to be though when he gets Linda here in a second.
Oh
Lindsay,
yeah, man.
Linda.
Yeah, or like apparently, I think Lindsay will get it in the franchise. But again, we will do that in Halloween Ends discussion videos later on. But yeah, then we get back to Linda upstairs. Tuning up her nails, getting ready for round 2 after she gets her next beer in. And then freaking Michael walks in with a freaking little classic ghost sheet, like bed sheet over it, and glasses on there. And then Linda's like, "You see anything you like? Did I get your ghost, Bob?"
And he's got a freaking laser beam on his head. But yeah, so he walks up and yeah, so she's like, fuck it. I don't want the beer anymore. She's gonna call the mofo. She's gonna call Lori across the street.
Yeah, to go get her a beer.
To tell her about her situation and all that stuff. She gets on the phone, but freaking Ghost Boy comes up behind her, freaking chokes her out. This is when we get the best look of Michael yet. This is when the sheet comes off. We see a clear kind of shot of his face. And he's got, he's emotionless. We can see for the first time that it's a, blank emotionless face, but he kind of does have a little bit of emotion that, you can kind of see throughout, it almost looks like from this point on and a little bit earlier when you can see his face a little bit, his expressions seem to be facing on his mask, although we know he does not, but it's just the way that the, different angles and stuff like that. It's really cool. And at this point, he's just there and he looks a little curious.
Yeah. All because of the Inside Out William Shatner mask.
Hell yes.
Simplicity, man. And that's what makes the movie go round. And then while all this is happening, Loomis is like behind bushes, like scaring Lonnie, going, "Lonnie, get your ass away from there." Like just having a jolly good time, forgetting what's freaking important. And then Sheriff Brackett scares him. He goes like, "Don't scare me like that. Evil has come to your little town, Sheriff." Loomis always giving out the wonderful lines in the Halloween franchise that will always be remembered.
Talk.
Yeah, all that fancy talk, man. If it's if he is sound, like, damn you for laying them out. I'm like, if it hears Loomis go, I didn't let them out. Like,
I didn't let them out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that into Halloween 2 for the next one, but
exactly. Yeah, so that happens, kills Linda, chokes her out with the phone cord. That's where the phone cord kill comes in. Very effective. It's good. She's choking out. Lori can hear this on the phone while she's dying.
Which was great.
It was effective, and it creates intrigue, right? She's like, what's going on over there? She's wondering. You can kind of see her kind of looking around. She flips out. She sees, up to this point, Tommy's been seeing some weird shit going across the street. He's been looking through the blinds. He saw Michael, or a dark shape carrying, a seemingly lifeless victim into the house, which was Annie. But now Lori's starting to kind of get a little weirded out. And now she looks over, she sees lights flickering on and off. She's like, okay, I'm going to go check this shit out. And this is the shit that used to scare
It's
me.
Michael's calling card.
Yeah, it's the signal. Hit him with the signal.
Lori,
This is the shit.
get your ass over here.
This is the shit that used to scare me the fuck as a kid, man. It scared the shit out of me, I should say. I don't know where that expression came from or what it means, but it scared the shit out of me. This right here is the reason I always watched Halloween 2 and 4 instead of 1 when I was young and first started watching these movies, because when she goes over there, we know that he's already murked 2 people over there, 3 actually. And those bodies in there. Michael's in the house. We know there's a threat in the house, and she voluntarily walks over there and we're like, fuck, don't go over there, man. Don't do this. Come on. And this shit gets scary. This is the payoff of all the tension that we've gotten to at this point. Is her walking across the street. We get her innocent little theme.
And I love,
plan.
sorry, real quick, I love that we know what's going on, but our protagonist, our final girl, does not. I always love that in any movie.
Yeah, she's clueless. I mean, she's a little bit suspicious at this point because the weird stuff's going on, but she's going to go over there. She's going to see what games they're playing with her. We get her theme playing one more time. She walks over there. She walks in, and then it's just all hell's breaking loose. So, it's dark. It's fucking, there's no lights on in there. It's like freaking Ethan Hawke's house in Sinister. You can't see shit in that thing. She's walking around, goes upstairs, sees her buddy freaking murked on the bed with the tombstone that's missing from earlier. Again, subtle payoff from earlier scene. It's nice. It's great. It's not hitting you over the head with it. It's just there. And then, all the bodies pop out, Birdie.
Oh, yeah, man. Laurie walking up to that room, which, again, I love how John Carpenter takes his time from Laurie from the Doyle house going to the Wallace house. I just love him just taking this time, building that tension, because, again, we know what she don't know. Just great stuff. Her opening the door, seeing Annie with the tombstone, freaking seeing Bob freaking just, hanging around, kind of like monkey style in reverse.
Bob's Burgers.
Then, oh yeah, hey, exactly. So and then we get to see freaking, you talk about overselling a dev. How about Linda in that freaking little cabinet? And then the door cabinet opens and there's Linda.
Her eyes are all crossed and shit. She's like, oh,
yeah, but we see the brutality of her neck too. So great job by the special effects team, kind of making that look realistic. And then Laurie freaking out, giving her famous final girl scream, leaves the room. Just lying there, just all distraught. Pretty much her mind's all broken up. She can't function anymore at this point. But she kind of has to, because right behind her, we get one of the most beautiful cinematography shots, not just in horror history, but in cinematic history, where Michael, we just barely see his face in the shadows right before he strikes. We think he strike on the neck, but instead he just gets her with the shoulder.
And this is the biggest issue of the movie, dude. He whiffs on her ass. Like, this is the I don't care about all the crazy dumbass decisions Laurie's about to make. Michael's got her dead to rights and fucking whiffs on her ass after he'd murked everybody to perfection at this point. But, whatever. Conveniences are conveniences. She falls down the stairs. This is the most intense part of the movie. She walks out. She's trying to get out of the damn house now and get away. Her leg's all broken up there. Bitch, it can no longer work. Or she's got a slice on her shoulder. She's freaking not doing too well. And she's walking up to the back door, which has been closed by a fucking rake. She closes this other little side door. It's a weak-ass door. And she's walking. And then Michael's busting through that door, with the first one that she locked, in the kitchen. And while she's trying to get this damn rake out of the way. And this is so intense because we keep playing this little cat and mouse game where he's getting closer to her and she's just barely getting away. And this is where it starts off, is that scene. She does get out just in time, runs off, tries to get help from neighbors. Nobody's freaking buying it. I wouldn't either. I mean, it's freaking Halloween. There's a lot of tricks out there, not a lot of treats, if you know what I mean, especially this time. She guns run across the street. Best shot in the movie, dude. In my opinion, when she's running across the street and it keeps cutting back to Michael, and it's like he's just walking. The walk that Nick Castle provides here is just fantastic, and it looks so good, and it's just a normal walk. That's all John Carpenter wanted him to do, is just a normal walk, and he did his own thing, and it's beautiful. Hasn't been replicated until freaking our boy James Jude came in, either.
And how we did it in the skit, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was good. It was solid. It was good. But man, that's so good because she's the keys fell out of her pocket, which is Bible. Yeah, I would buy that. The keys fell out of her pocket back at the house, in the Wallace house. And so that when she fell down the stairs and shit, so she has no keys. She's throwing plants and shit out the door, trying to get Tommy to come down and lock the damn thing. Meanwhile, Michael's just getting closer and closer. And this is the best fucking song, is the Shape Stocks is playing, man.
Yeah.
Done. Which is it's one of the most suspenseful pieces of music ever played, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And that's when Tommy opens the door. And while all this is going on, too, Dr. Loomis is still at the Myers house waiting on some action to happen. And then suddenly, again, this is a little problem I have with Dr. Loomis. He never looks what's behind him because he's probably at the Myers house for an hour or 2 hours. He finally turns around and sees the freaking car.
This guy.
And that's where he knows Myers is in town. And that's where he goes up and down the streets trying to hunt the damn thing. And then now we're back to the Doyle house where freaking the windows weren't locked. So that's how Michael got in. And that's when Lori famously stabs Michael with the little knit thing and just stab him right
Needle,
in the neck there. Yeah, and then she's like, okay, all's good. Drop the knife. I don't need that anymore. I killed him. Check on the kids upstairs. And then Tommy's like, so it's there really is, but you can't kill the boogeyman. And then that's when we get that another great shot of Michael standing right behind Lori and freaking out everybody. And then we're about to get to probably a lot of people's favorite shot of the entire movie. It's the closet scene where Michael's just breaking in and shit. Which again, like you alluded to earlier, that was Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was another great thing. She goes in, she tries to pull the fake out. She opens the back window and she's like, "All right, cool." But then she goes in. Yeah, try to make it look like she's left, but she couldn't actually leave the kids. So she goes into the closet, hides in there, ties the shit shut, and she's like, "All right, we're gonna win this battle all day." But then he finds her, bust in there, freaking, whatever. He's and dude, that's scary as fuck when he's got those shots from inside the closet looking up, like you had earlier in the card. And his face is coming in, the lights going in and out because he keeps hitting the string, and like it's fucking scary, and it's so claustrophobic too. She's in this little closet, there's nowhere to run. This is the dead end. The only thing that saves her here is a fucking coat hanger. Those things never come in handy, or do they? They do today. And and so she straightens that shit out, pokes him in the eye with it, and then he falls down, and then he drops the knife, and then she stabs him in the chest, and then he falls down. Which again, that was a good brutal sound effect kill, or presumably when she stabbed him like that, which was good. And then she said, "No, we're gonna go ahead and leave his ass laying there again."
Yeah, and then once again she drops the damn knife and not making sure he's dead, which again, horror movie cliche at this point. Like we're creating horror tropes at this point with Halloween. Establishes a lot of them. Then after that, Laurie tells the kids to go down to the McKenzie's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go down to McKenzie's, go call 911, go get help. And then as the kids run and scream and panic, that's when Dr. Loomis is like, finally, I'm getting some damn action here tonight. And then that's when he's about to enter the house. But during all that, Laurie's just relaxing. And then the Undertaker pops up. Now, I'm just kidding. It's freaking Michael Myers, but that's where the Undertaker gets it.
Kane.
It's gotta be Kane. But no, that's where we get the original setup of Michael Myers, which, dude, first off, that's fucking scary as shit.
It was good.
Dude, absolutely freaked me the hell out. And I was like, Laurie, look behind you, damn it. Don't have the Loomis problem. And then that's when Michael's having a good time choking her. And then Laurie, being smart, takes off the mask. And then that's when we see Tony Moran. Freaking's like, oh crap, I gotta put it back on. And then that's when Dr. Loomis comes in, saves the day, and shoots the fucker 6 times.
Oh yeah, shut him in the heart about. He flies off the balcony, presumably ending the movie, essentially. But then he looks over, Mofo's gone, dude. He's freaking Fine. He's disappeared, and that ends a perfect ending, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah, and that's when Laurie, with the famous line, "It was the boogeyman." As a matter of fact, it was.
Yes, exactly. It was good. Perfect way to end it. This is to me, I think, as much as I love the sequels, and I do, and I'm glad they exist. I think they kind of ruined this ending a little bit with with how cool and ambiguous it is that he just fucking bounced and you don't know where he's going or what he's going to do next, and you don't know why he came here to begin with. You've probably not, and you have no idea where he's at. You just hear that breathing. That it's going to different shots, different locations throughout the movie, and you just hear that breathing like he's everywhere. It's evil, and evil is everywhere kind of deal. And I love that shit. Epic shit, man.
Yeah, and that was because John Carpenter had like extra footage of like just the rooms and all that, and he's like, you know what? Let's freaking just use them and just establish that the shape could be anywhere at any time, and then with that breathing to go along with it too. Yeah, like you said, perfect ending.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's just a creepy little ghost story essentially, and that's what we got out of it. And it ends, and that should be it. But again, I'm glad we got what comes after at the end of the day. I love the rest of the movies too, so no complaints. But
And
I
we're
am
gonna
curious
get
how
into
this
it.
movie would have aged without it.
Yeah, oh, dude, I'll probably age a little bit better. Not too many, not too much many Halloween toxic fans out there. But all right, so yeah, that's pretty much the rundown for the Halloween movie. Before we give our overall thoughts and the movie rating, we figure it'd be, have a little fun with this. So we're gonna give our best kill, and this is gonna happen in each Halloween review we do. Best kill of the movie and the WTF of the movie. And then eventually we will do a kills and WTF ranking, like combine everything together. But we just figure with each movie we give that out. So Brad, I'll let you go first. What's your favorite kill and WTF moment?
So my top kill in the movie is Bob. I think it's probably the most iconic of the bunch, and to me it's a really effective jump scare. This was a good jump scare before jump scares were a thing. And again, I really appreciate the lighting. It's not overlit. It's dark. He's in the dark kitchen. He comes out of nowhere out of the closet, stabs dude up on the wall. And then, I mean, just everything about that's really cool. Realistic? Nah, not really, but it's really badass. My best WTF moment of the movie is going to be what I was talking about earlier. Whenever Michael's been chasing this girl all day, he gets her dead to rights. She's looking the other direction, and he completely whips her ass and hits her freaking shoulder. And I guess she falls down the stairs afterwards. That to me is like, dude, come on. Were you drunk at this point? Were you taking all their beers from the fridge downstairs and like just freaking getting hammered? I don't know, but there's not a lot of reasonable explanations for that one.
No, that's actually a really damn good one. But for my favorite kill, it has to be the freaking Freddy from Queen kill. Now I'm just kidding because we don't even know how he died. We just saw a dead body
Yeah.
with blood on it and that freaking mustache. It's obviously fake. But
Mustachio, a question.
yeah, mustachio a question. Mama. Nah, I'm just kidding. But instantly the kill is the Bob kill. I won't say too much about it. Brad nailed it. Nailed it. I pretty much just pinned it right on the freaking wall right there with the butcher knife. It's the Bob kill without a doubt. WTF moment. I mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to mention it again. It has to be when Bob just wants to rip off Lindsay's clothes.
Okay, first I rip your clothes off.
Don't rip my blouse. It's expensive, idiot.
Then you rip my clothes off. Then we rip Lindsay's clothes off. Yeah, I think
It does not age well. It just makes me extremely uncomfortable, man.
It's weird, dude. I don't know where that line came from or who chose to say it, but that's just fucking weird, man. I don't know.
It probably happened
yeah.
after John Carpenter's third drink while writing the script.
He's like, fuck it. Yeah. I mean, y'all just do you, man. I'm just here to run the camera.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, those are our kills and WTF. So Brad, your overall thoughts and a movie rating.
Man, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, to be honest with you. It is my favorite horror movie of all time. Actually, both of my favorites are right there behind me in the posters, and it's fantastic. I love how simple it is. I love how simple it is, and I love how subtle it is in a lot of the scares. It's not jump scare city. It's not kill city either. It's very just full of tension. You're getting that carrot dangled throughout. Very subtle with everything. I love that. I love the fact that it's hard to go back and look at it in a lens from 1978 because we don't have that ability. We can't go back and be like, okay, we can't go back and watch it without comparing it to other stuff. So it's kind of mild compared to some of the stuff out there today, but it's still just as scary. And I think that it like you said, it does set tropes up for the future. There were no tropes at this time to rely on though. So that's cool. But either way, again, one of my favorite movies of all time. This is a 5 out of 5 for me all day. No questions.
Ooh, okay, man. That's awesome, man. I remember how excited you got when you showed me Halloween for the very first time. And that's just the thing that scared me the most. Yeah, Michael Myers chasing babysitters and children, that's scary. But dude, the score is what scared me the most. And that's the other cool fact, too, that they didn't really have a score in this movie. And that's what really just dragged with the scares and all that. And then when John Carpenter added that score in there, it changed the movie completely. And I absolutely love it for that. I love the characters. I love the not knowing why the shape is doing what it's doing. We get an iconic character in Dr. Loomis. We get one of our classic final girls of all time in Laurie Strode. All of it is just absolutely fantastic. Shot great. Just John Carpenter and his team did a phenomenal job. I do have my nitpicks about the movie, but to me they're just nitpicks. They're not enough to sway the rating, so I'm going to go right there with you, Brad. 5 out of 5. And so we're going to give this, and rightfully deservedly so, a golden reel.
I love gold. the look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
Real freaking naughty.
Oh, yeah, buddies. So, guys, that is the first of 12 reviews. Well, technically, like 14, because we got Halloween ranking and we're going to do ends twice. But yeah, we freaking started, man. HalloScream is officially on the go, man.
Drinking a White Claw and get ready for Halloween 2 because we're going to go freaking eat some pie next week. And by pie, I mean Amazing Grace is sitting on some faces.
Oh my gosh, man. I'll sing that song for the next week. So I'm just going to rest my singing voice until then. But I got to ask our viewers, what did you all think about Halloween, the classic from 1978? Do you think it's the greatest horror movie of all time? Or do you have some nitpicks or even negatives about the movie if that doesn't make it the greatest horror movie of all time? As always, let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, and TikTok. Those links are for you to find down below.
Absolutely, and be sure once again to check out our buddies that are doing this HalloScream Review Series with us, and Chris and his written reviews. Be sure to check them out. Their descriptions or their links for those videos and written reviews are in the description down below, so be sure to give them love and support too. And of course, you want to give us support, be sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so you all know when the next set of videos and the next HalloScream review is up and ready. And until then, always check what's freaking behind you, man, because you never know what's going to be a shape.
But you are. And get ready to go freaking... Get ready to meet Slip and Jimmy next month. Next week.
Oh my god. Here we freaking go what comes after a classic, man. But yeah, we're out here. Peace.